I've been asked a lot if I've seen other content creators' videos on the subject of fixing Trials of Osiris. I myself made a video that people conveniently seem to forget about, so that's what today's video is for. It's to very concisely repeat what I already said, and maybe go into a little bit more depth in certain areas. Nobody's had original ideas per se, so just know that none of this is 100% me, and none of that was 100% anyone else. A lot of people can come up with the same obvious idea on other sides of the world with no influence from each other whatsoever. I just want to get this video out for the same reason everyone else did, to echo good ideas so that the changes can come faster. Fixing Trials of Osiris. First, we're talking about the loot system. The loot system is extremely flawed. The way it works currently is that you earn week-specific rewards on games 3, 5, and 7. Once you earn a reward, it's added to Saint 14's loot pool. Once reaching 3 wins, you can turn in 20 tokens to Saint 14 in order to earn a random roll of something you've already earned. Winning a match yields 3 tokens and losing yields 1. Completing bounties from Saint 14 also earns tokens. Bounties are infinitely repeatable. You can also choose your card or passage for trials. The options are Mercy, Ferocity, Wealth, Wisdom, and Confidence. The two worth mentioning are Mercy because it's the most popular option because it forgives you for 1 loss, and Wealth, which is the most useful because it awards more tokens. The others also have their uses, but they're not very important for this video. Playing to win and going for flawless cards is sometimes far less effective than just exploiting the system. So how would one exploit the system? The answer is extremely obvious, and most figured it out immediately. You simply do not play until the reward you want is available during a particular week. Remember, earning rewards adds more items to Saint 14's loot pool, making it more difficult to obtain what you really want. The second week of trials was a perfect storm for exploiting the system, and I'm glad it happened early so it could be remedied as soon as possible. The reward available for 3 wins, not 5, not 7, not even flawless, was the best shotgun in the game, the Astral Horizon. Good luck convincing any caliber player not to farm for the best shotgun in the game in the most efficient manner. The best method is as follows, and I'm breaking it down here because it helps put solutions to fixing the system in perspective. First, get to 3 wins to unlock the shotgun. Second, visit Saint 14 for repeatable bounties. Third, reset your card to avoid accidentally getting to 5 wins, and complete as many bounties as fast as possible. Due to the slow nature of trials, throwing matches for faster bounty completion was often best. A common criticism is that players shotgun farming could just obtain the shotgun naturally or increase their odds through the wealth card. But to unlock a wealth card, you have to exceed 5 wins, which will add more unnecessary items to Saint 14's loot pool, thus making your odds worse. It is highly unlikely to obtain a competitive Astral Horizon roll naturally. I really need to drive this point home. Roughly, here's the odds, 2 out of 6 barrel, 3 out of 6 magazine, 1 out of 5 on the first perk, and any of 5 on the second perk, and any out of 4 on the masterwork. Those odds are not pretty. Up until this point, if you unlocked every item you could from previous weeks, you'd have the Scout, Fusion, Rocket, and Gloves in the loot pool. Adding the shotgun makes it so you potentially pull 1 shotgun for every 100 tokens turned in. The best farming rate I pulled off was 10 tokens per match, and the lowest was 4. You also got to consider the queuing and tower loading times because every other match you pretty much visit Saint 14 to refill on bounties, so this means that 10 to 15-ish matches of trials I would have enough for 1 singular shotgun, if my odds were correct. It turns out that 1 shotgun out of 100 tokens is pretty good odds all things considered, and if you played the entire length of the weekend shotgun farming, you were close to guaranteed a competitive roll. Now compare these odds to the other competitive shotgun, the Mindbender's Ambition from the Hollow Lair Nightfall Strike. This is roughly 2 out of 6 on the barrel, 3 of 6 on the magazine, any of the 4 of perk 1, and 1 out of 4 on perk 2. So, again, you could have a competitive shotgun in 1 single weekend of trials, or you could waste your time laboring fruitlessly at either playing trials naturally or farming the Nightfall Strike. Once again, good luck convincing players who are borderline required to gearing semi-decently for skill-based matchmaking in every single playlist to not farm for the Astral Horizon. I created a video breaking down this astral farming method and putting it on everyone's radar. The weekend was going to be ruined anyway from the obvious loot system flaw, so I wanted to respect my viewers' time by making sure they do not go past 3 wins and throw away their opportunity to get the best shotgun in the game. There was no malicious intent towards casuals. The playlist was ruined anyway, so we might as well turn it into a mindless weekend of throwing matches for fast tokens while waiting for Bungie to implement a fix. Now, before you type a short-sighted, spiteful comment, did you use the Prometheus lens when it ruined Trials last time? I didn't go flawless that weekend. In those cases, I don't really blame the player for using the best stuff or taking the best path. I will always point out the flaws and sit out the content if necessary. While I'm not a fan of the current system, I hear the word gatekeeping thrown around a lot regarding Trials. And you're exactly right. For any team to receive rewards, they must win 3, 5, 7 matches or go flawless. There's even an emblem with corresponding armor glow dedicated to counting the number of teams that you gatekeep. The foundation of Trials has always been gatekeeping. The better team wins and gets rewarded, but unfortunately, there has to be a loser in a competitive game mode. But why make losing sting so much? Let's move on to solutions now that you have the whole perspective. So here are my proposed solutions to the loot system. Remove the 3-win requirement from token turn-in. Make the token amount at the bottom of the card less profitable than losing games 4, 5, and 6. Make the token amount for going flawless significantly higher than that. Make the token amount for playing past 7 wins even higher than flawless. Safe 14's loot pool should contain everything. Next, create a consolidation/participation reward just for playing matches. This should take a while to earn and should be either purely random or week specific, maybe even both. Next, create a flawless reward that exceeds profit from Master Nightfalls. Consider adept weapons or augmented weapons, which were introduced in the Black Armory expansion, which are basically just guns with an extra selectable perk, thus making your RNG of getting a better roll even better. Next, create bounties for focused farming for games past 7 wins. Imagine being able to go for the Astral Horizon by maintaining wins past a flawless card. Next, create semi-competitive curated roles for the flawless chests to alleviate the punishment of RNG rolls. So just think imagine you're guaranteed an Astral Horizon with quick draw by doing a bounty in regards to going flawless. And finally, successful carries with the carry emblem should give bonus rewards to all involved. If some or all of these ideas are implemented, every kind of player benefits. I, for one, do not need rewards to encourage me to play a fun game mode. This weekend of Cauldron, for instance, offered 0 rewards for me besides the flawless chest loot. I am 500 tokens down the drain. But I'm not disappointed, because I already have competitive roles of everything useful, so the reason I'm playing, mostly off stream, is shock and horror, because I find competitive matches fun. I know, alert the press, imagine wanting to play strong opponents in a competitive game mode. Let's listen to that again. Imagine wanting to play strong opponents in a competitive game mode. I love competitive game modes. I want to match sweaty players. Sincerely, the canon. Terrible jokes aside, this is a long way of saying that the rewards should come second to fun and balance in the game mode. Now, this is a good transition point to talk about the game mode. Trials of Osiris is a 3 vs 3 player elimination mode. Win a round by eliminating the enemy team, win 5 rounds to win the match. If a team is not fully eliminated within 2 minutes of the round start, a capture point appears. Capture that point to win the round, and on the 3rd round, power ammo appears. While in theory this should play smoothly, when players play to win, the game mode falls apart. The flaws with the game mode are as follows. Round time length favoring passive play in high intellect builds, sniper rifle ease of use having no true counter, as a result, map movement is shut down. Third person peeking, as a result, players are passive because of free information at no cost, revive timers are too quick in all regards, and cheaters. Now let's talk about solutions to the game mode. You could reduce the round length to encourage movement and punish camping for a super. You could consider changing the intellect stat to become class ability cooldown instead of super cooldown. For snipers, a combination of more zoom, less aim assist, less handling, and flinch changes. Revoker also needs to be reworked. Getting ammo back on a miss just leads to camping. Emotes can only be activated at the end of a round. Swords are temporarily removed till first person option is available, meaning that swords should only Go third person when you have ammo for them. It should also take slightly longer to be able to revive and finish a revive. Over network, revives are not consistently able to be stopped mid-revive. That extra time should give plenty of buffer. Anti-cheat. I don't think a paywall is a perfect solution. We need anti-cheat. Finally, some sandbox changes. This time the list is pretty short. The sandbox is very close to incredible, with only minor annoyances and outliers. I would like to see melee registration and desync issues looked into. I won't go into any specific exotic armor pieces and outliers here. Closing notes. Trials has returned with some great ideas like infinite flawless completions per weekend, but also returned with some terrible ideas like locked loot pools and no changes to third-person peeking, despite that being a point of contention for years. I can see the reality of a term like skill creep, reference the video in the description below, but I never really felt that applied to me personally. I played many different video games and sucked in all of them until I didn't. Losing repeatedly has never swayed me from a game. I'll continue doing my best to keep creating guides on gearing and guides on improving. As a community, we need to embrace a better outlook for competitive game modes. Apparently a sweat is any player better than you. Let's instead not look for excuses for losses, and instead look for opportunities for skill growth. Bungie is working hard to make realistic solutions happen. I've been to the studio, I've seen firsthand how passionate and clever these devs are. If I was invited to the Trials of Osiris related playtesting, you bet your ass I would have said everything in this video and more. Thanks for watching the entire video before responding. Thank you for being passionate enough about the game to take extra time to discuss these kind of things in the comment section below. You're the best.